If you have a time, if they are not there right now, if you could huddle the children together for our children's time, young and old, that would be wonderful. You're probably wondering why there is a glass of water on the communion table this morning. Well, great question, and I'm about to answer that, because without it, I don't have a children's sermon. This water, this glass of water, represents the love of God through Jesus. Now, I love water. I try very hard to drink my 8 to 10 glasses every day, and I usually get through a glass during a time of worship. But water is so necessary for life. Without it, we die, we perish. Water refreshes, it renews, and this water, being a symbol of God's love, is full. But our role is not to just simply look at the water and go, oh, thank you, God, it's full. No, our role as disciples is to be in that fullness of God. To take from that fullness of God, and that's what's represented in a straw. I can look at this, but it doesn't do a whole lot of good until I enter into it, and when I do, now that's good. Excuse me again. That's good. But you know, sometimes life gets crazy in times such as these. And sometimes our life is on the outside of God's love. Now, lots of reasons. A pandemic, maybe. Not going to school, maybe. Always being together in the same house for 2 months, maybe. Sometimes our life isn't always in God's love. It is outside of God's love, and it might be guilt or fear or a hardened heart. It might be a number of things. But when things get tough, then we turn to God's love and we try to drink it in. Next to nothing. If I have a part of my life outside of God's love and inside of God's love, there's not much there. I ask you to try that this week. Get 2 straws. Put 1 straw outside. You'll probably get the hiccups. What we're called to do this morning is to make sure all of our life is inside of God's love, inside of God's grace. Because when we do, Jesus promises us abundant life, a life you've never even dreamed of before, a life full of grace and love and mercy and forgiveness. And when you're all in God's love, that's good stuff. That is the stuff that sustains us when things get tough. It's the stuff that reminds us that life is good, that God's grace is sufficient, and that God's love is with us. Our role is to be in that love. Would you pray with me? Now, usually, as we have our children's time at the Endwell United Methodist Church, the kids pray along with me, and I would invite you to do so. I'll give you a second to repeat what I say. Let's be in prayer. Thank you, God, for the life that we have that is inside of you. An abundant life. A new life. A life we can hardly imagine. But through your love, we can live it. Thank you, God. I love you, God. Amen.